What's up, people? Not beautiful people. I'm very disappointed in the wrestling community right now. You don't deserve to be called beautiful people right now. No, I'm just kidding. What's up, beautiful people? Yeah, what's been going on? If you, unless you've been living under a rock, you've heard about the AEW situation with CM Punk and the Elite, Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks getting in a skerfuffle. Um, yeah, I'm just here to really just give my opinion on it and give my take upon it. And because it seems like I'm the only one who kind of has this take from what I've seen. Yeah, I really need someone to explain me where, other than taking MJF's moment, because CM Punk did take MJF's moment. But other than that, where was CM Punk wrong in this? And where is the same energy for Kenny Omega and the Elite? Where is the energy for the Young Bucks? Where is the energy for Hangman? And I'm gonna explain what each and them one of them has done. But first, let me start this off by saying, wouldn't you rather deal with someone who's an asshole and admits it, or is an asshole and hides it? Because when you're an asshole and you try to play like you're not, you become a dick. And it's okay to be an asshole if you're honest about it. But to be a dick is unacceptable. From what I've heard, Hangman Adam Page, a dick. The Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, dicks. And Kenny Omega are all dicks. They're dicks. And they walk around like they have small ones from what I've heard. Now, you have CM Punk, who is like, yeah, I'm an asshole. Some may even call me a dick, but at least I'm honest about it. I'm going to let you know, like, hey, I am an asshole. I don't get it. Other than him stealing MJF's moment, what smoke did he give that wasn't deserved to the people? Those four people, the Young Bucks, spreading rumors to outlets after Chris Jericho said, let's stop doing that in a talent meeting. Hangman Adam Page going into business for himself on live TV. CM Punk went off on YouTube. Adam Page went off on the go home show of a pay-per-view. Kenny Omega saying in a talent meeting 80% of the roster wouldn't make his roster. CM Punk, I work with children. CM Punk said everything everyone was thinking. Now reports are coming out that no one wants to work with him. Everyone will be surprised if he comes back. If CM Punk leaves, that makes AEW look really bad. Not in terms of Tony Khan. It makes the roster look very bad. Because if what Jim Cornette is saying and what it seems to be that the Elite has been causing problems, and the one guy who could speak up spoke up on it, and now everyone wants him gone like he's the problem, that makes the AEW roster look very bad. That makes the unit that they thought they had, that everyone thinks they had, look very bad. I think that CM Punk should stay. I think he's made me, as a casual fan of wrestling, but more of a WWE stan, made me interested in the sport of pro wrestling, because that's what AEW, although it's towards mainstream, is more mainstream than any other company outside of WWE. It's pro wrestling. WWE is sports entertainment. AEW is pro wrestling. So it's made me interested in the Darby Allins of the world. CM Punk has. He's made me interested in the Darby Allins of the world, the Powerhouse Hobbs, the shit, the I said Darby Allin, the MJFs, the Britt Bakers, the hell, Wardlow, Hook, you know what I mean? The Sin Hook meme. Like, it's, he's done more good than bad. And I don't get where all this smoke is coming from. Like, I'll do another video after this about the great one, just like shitting. Everyone seems to be shitting on CM Punk. Like, the full story hasn't came out. Each side has came out, but we're getting on Punk for responding to the bullshit. From my perspective, from what I see, and I'm open to conversation, but nobody has told me yet that Punk is the one who started it. Why do we get mad at the person who responds? There's no rule to a reaction. And if you want to say, oh, he's the leader of the, or if he's the champion, he shouldn't act that way. Tell Hangman Page the same thing, because as he was champion on a go home show and the main event promo or whatever, the main segment of the show, he went into business for himself and alluded that Punk did something that he didn't. So Punk was silent. Even I was like looking at Punk crazy, like, how could you do that to Colt Cabana? And I thought this way for years, like, damn, Punk is kind of a dick for doing that to his best friend. But no, he just stayed silent until he couldn't no more, until he had to defend himself. And then notice, like, nobody had a problem with CM Punk until it was his time to challenge for the title. Nobody said a word about Punk. Nobody had a problem with CM Punk until it was time for him to challenge for the title. We all know he's an asshole. We know he's an asshole. But what has he done to deserve Hangman Adam Page doing what he did? What has he deserved? What has he done to deserve what Young Bucks been spreading to the media? What has the roster done for Kenny Omega to say 80% of them wouldn't make his roster? They're assholes. Like let's keep it real. Cody left for a reason. You know, like, Cody left for a fucking reason. So even like I advise you all to listen to Jim Cornette's review of the media scrum. Him and the guy, his co-host, said that in a few years there are going to be stories coming out about this group, these EVPs, that everyone, these internet, like, they're the epitome of internet darlings that everyone seems to just be defending and acting like they're angels or whatever. I don't know. Like, I've had days to come out, so like I'm not even as pissed off as I was. Like, the perception of it, like, we all know CM Punk's an asshole. But what has he done wrong that somebody else hasn't done? He shit on 4 people's name because 4 people has been shitting on him. He just don't put up with bullshit. Like, we cannot shoot down a man who's been brave enough to do something that other people aren't. He speaks up for himself. Like, man, y'all not about to shit on me, bro. Like, I respect it. Now, I do think it was an asshole move to pick that night, because that was MJF's night. You know, that was MJF's night. MJF deserved that pop. I heard it was some rumor that he was angry about the pop that MJF got. I just don't believe that, but maybe I'm wrong. And I'm not looking at CM Punk like he's an angel. Like, no, CM Punk is no angel. He's an asshole. I know he's an asshole, but I can respect the man who's honest about being a asshole. That's it. And then you got the fight in the back, like that, like people responding to that. It's 2 different sides to the story, and they're like completely different sides. So someone is lying. You got one side that the elite kicked down the door, and the other side, they were just knocked and they were peaceful. And as soon as and then Punk just started throwing hands out of nowhere. They both seem on 2 different ends of a scale or whatever, but it's just it all sounds like bullshit. But as fans, we have to, like, just it's not fair. It's not fair to the likes of CM Punk. It's not fair to honestly. It's just not fair to CM Punk. It's not fair at all. Cody left for a reason. These guys are dickheads. When you say what, because it wasn't even just like Kenny Omega said, 80, like it was just like that was the tone of the conversation. Like it was a positive meeting, and then out of nowhere comes Kenny Dickhead saying 80% of you wouldn't make my roster. So obviously these guys have big heads, and Punk does too. Don't get me wrong, he has a big head, but if we gonna call out CM Punk's bullshit, we got to call out theirs too. We do. That's just my thoughts on this. I just, I am a CM Punk fan. Don't get me wrong. So am I a Kenny Omega fan. I like Hangman Adam Page, but we have to call people out for their bullshit. And if we go call Punk out for his bullshit, I'm all for it. But let's call out the Elite for theirs. That's just my thoughts, man. Y'all be beautiful people today. Be great people today. Make somebody smile. Do all the YouTube things. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get to 130 today. Hopefully. All right. Sub to Ackman.